and welcome to Making Home, where we take you through the renovation of a beautiful family home.
Today we're all about the pool, alfresco and spa area, and we can't wait to show you.
You can't believe what you can do when you put your mind to it. Welcome to Making Home. So for this alfresco pool and spa area, we really wanted to make it work as hard as possible. We wanted it to be a year-round space where the family could live. So whether it's summertime, wintertime, you could just switch it up a little tiny bit and it would still perform beautifully. There are three really specific areas in this outdoor area. There's the deck, which goes straight off the kitchen, and then there is a beautiful dining area which sits off the back of the main living area. And then there's a really cool and groovy and cozy pool house which is right beside the pool. And so whether that's winter or summer, we've made sure that every single space is going to really work its socks off.
It's definitely a space you could see the family enjoy. I think having the pool on the same level, you could just imagine the kids playing, mum and dad up there having dinner at the table, and it's such a nice overview of the whole back deck. It's really like embracing the Australian home, absolutely.
The other thing that was really important was to make sure that we didn't steal too much light from the home. So I love to always include beautiful big undercover areas so that whether it's raining or whether it's super hot, you can still actually sit in the outdoors. So what we did for that was we put in some beautiful skylights. They can be fully open, they can be fully closed, or halfway in between. So you really do have the option of controlling the sun. Now this house actually sits north facing at the back. It is quite near the beach, so it really does pick up the wind at about 3. So we've installed these incredible blinds. They're cafe blinds, they're completely clear so you can see straight through them. So if you have got people in the pool, you can still see everything that's going on there. But it does give you the option to control that wind. The other thing is in wintertime is you can bring those blinds down, you can put that beautiful outdoor fireplace on, and then you can just sit in there and snuggle in.
It's definitely something to think about when renovating because you do want to make your space usable all year round. And how good is that outdoor fireplace? I know you were tempted to do an open fireplace here, but we went with the beautiful gas fireplace, and it's just so easy to pop on, sit down, grab your glass of wine and enjoy all year round.
So in winter, this is just going to warm everybody up. We don't need a flue because we're outside. It's an alfresco fireplace. It's been designed specifically to use outdoors. Touch of a button, we've got a beautiful gas fireplace which is just going to warm our hearts and souls.
Oh, it's beautiful. The finish of the stone is gorgeous. It really, again, adds texture to our back veranda space.
Do you know what I love about that cladding too? Is it comes in 200 by 400 blocks. So literally in the blink of an eye, we almost had that fireplace clad. You know, it really only took us a day, didn't it? So when we were renovating, we found these beautiful lengths of hardwood timber underneath the house, and we dragged them out, and you and I looked after them during the whole reno. That was the original beam that ran right across the back of the house. We sanded it back and we kept it under the house until the last minute, and then we've actually popped that into the fireplace. The tiles were really important in the alfresco pool and spa area for a number of reasons. When you're thinking about tiles in an outdoor area, you've got to actually think about how that's going to work functionally. So what we were really specific about was making sure that the tiles that we chose were going to be safe.
Absolutely. The last thing you want is kids slipping, running around the pool.
So you've made a great choice with the Omnistone 10 for that alfresco area, and it teams perfectly with the timber colour you're planning to use. Yeah, I like that leads from it. And the beauty too of Microtech is it's an innovative new finish. It's one, very quite smooth to touch, but it activates when wet. So once water is on the tile, that slip resistance activates and creates an added safety benefit. And plus you've got all the added benefits of a normal porcelain tile, so the durability and the easy to maintain, easy to clean, but with a safety feature there.
And I love the way we've offset them. We haven't used exactly the same tile down by the pool as we have in the alfresco area, but they sit together beautifully. So pretty much between the James Hardie Axon cladding on the back of the pool house, the roller blinds, and then the wall behind the barbecue, we've got complete privacy for that area, which is it's just perfect. So let's talk about the pool. The pool, I love this pool. Do you know what? It's not the biggest pool in the world. You couldn't do laps in it. It actually works functionally so beautifully. We added in a little champagne ledge. We've got a beach, there's some little stairs. We integrated the spa. We actually elevated the spa too so that it's really easy for people to get in and out of. But you know what else is really good for kids too is the magnesium that we've used. So instead of straight chlorine, instead of having a saltwater chlorinator, we've actually put in a magnesium pool.
So the number one thing that everyone forgets about when they're thinking about building a pool, because everyone thinks about the equipment, they think about all of the lovely stuff, but the number one thing for me is the water. The water is the thing that most people overlook, but it's the thing that when you jump into the pool, is the thing that you enjoy the most. So the quality of the water, I think, is always the thing that you should think about first. And in this particular pool, the client uses MagnaPool, which is a combination of magnesium and potassium. And what that does is that it makes the water super soft to swim in, very silky feel. You don't have any irritation on the eyes. The hair feels great when you get out as well, and you feel a little bit more relaxed when you're swimming around in the water.
The kids can swim in it all day, every day, and they won't get red eyes, any irritations.
So the key things to consider when you're building a pool, it's really important to talk to your builder up front about the things that you want to get out of your pool and the features you might want to add. So in this particular pool, the client wanted some lights, there's a heater, there's some blowers, there's additional water jets, and of course the sanitation system, plus an automation system. And all of those things are very important to consider talking to your builder up front, because when they install the pool, they're things that they need to think about when they put the shell in.
Those Adbri blocks were incredible. They actually formed up the pool. So we built the pool on our own.
Best thing about it is if you're a competent DIYer, you can eliminate the cost and the time of having a bricklayer at home, because it is as simple as just finding its groove and putting it in place. So it's no mortar, you don't have to hold a trowel all day. You can get left and right corners so you're not doing cuts, which keeps your stretcher bond continuing. It makes for a cleaner building site, a quicker job. You can do it in any type of weather. So if these were Bessa blocks and they were saturated, your brickie will say, I'll be back in a week or two when they're dry. You can lay these wet, soaking wet, and it doesn't matter, because it's not until you go to core fill that you're going to worry about anything to do with water.
A lot of people worry when they're putting in a pool, and particularly a spa, that they're going to have a lot of high energy costs. So it was really important to us when we were designing this particular house that we really thought about the Solar Heart system that we put in and how we could make sure that that was going to be as energy efficient as possible.
So for this home, we selected a 10.4 kilowatt Solar Heart premium system with the Goodwee hybrid 3-phase inverter. We also paired with that a high voltage Lynx battery system and a 315 litre Solar Heart Power Store water heater. Anything you can do to reduce the cost of energy, both now but also for the future, will just future-proofs your home to make it more economical.
So to cut costs, we just did a finger tile around the water edge of the pool, and then within the pool we actually chose to use beadcrete, which feels beautiful underfoot. And what's also great is that you can choose it in lots of different colours to suit your colour palette. We
went quite light, didn't we?
Yeah.
We wanted to keep everything out there quite light and bright, and so we were able to do that with the beadcrete. So the pool house was a little bit of a passion project for me. I do love to make sure that everybody has got somewhere that's fully undercover. Honestly, the sun is so hot these days. It was really important to me that it still hung together beautifully with the house, but it could be a little bit different, like a little mini version of the house. So we used the asphalt shingles again. Instead of the copper guttering, we put a little copper outdoor shower right beside, which is, going to be used all day, every day. And then the other thing we did was we used the James Hardie Axon cladding to kind of, line that. And then we continued that on the wall behind the shower, along on the patio as well.
Oblique cladding is so popular right now, it's so easy to use and install. With respect to our paint system, it's pre-primed straight out of the James Hardie factory. That priming step's removed from the builder. That's one less step for them to worry about, and it leaves you with creative control over what colour you want to apply to these boards. You can see they've alternated the boards in this instance just to really add a bit of flair and personality to this particular home.
We have to talk about the lighting. The lighting is beautiful. Like we've said before, lighting is just such a beautiful way to add visual interest. Obviously it's got to light the way, but it really does create such a beautiful feeling.
And we've centred that barn light, the nickel barn light, in the pool house there, which just, gives it that classic feel.
And then we've used those two either side underneath that beautiful black pergola. And what's an alfresco pool and spa area without a little bit of entertainment? We have got the world's biggest speaker, but the sound is just incredible. Honestly, we turned it on the other day when we had some of the tradies here and they were literally pumping. It's so much fun. It's on wheels. You can move it anywhere you like, but honestly, I think it's gonna almost live down in that pool house.
So with this alfresco pool and spa area, I don't think we need to go anywhere else. We can stay there summer, winter, all year round. It's going to be a very well-used space by the family who lives here.
I think I could live in that pool house.
Oh, I'm sitting by the fire.